You said to the program.
Welcome to the program, yeah.
Oh, you weren't on for welcome.
Oh.
Or maybe I didn't hear. Maybe it was just...
No, I probably was not on. Well, let's just say welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it used to be on 9/11. I actually forgot it was September 11th until I was just said.
You're supposed to never forget, dude.
I know.
That's the one thing.
But for me, I always wear shirts which say occasionally forget.
Okay, all right.
I forgot that today was September 11th, and they wouldn't let us make a right on 6th Avenue. And I'm like, what the fuck? I thought maybe Trump was going to be at Fox. We're right next to a Fox.
So you're saying you're still feeling the effects all these years later?
Well, yeah, every morning on a show. I mean, I just feel like it's the same thing.
Oh, yeah. The tragedy, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Travis put, well, September 11th. I'm like, oh, right.
Yes.
It's natural. It fades as far as it being omnipresent in your mind.
Also, you just don't look at the calendar and know what day today is.
You really don't. And it's not, it'll be a big one in 26.
2 years from now.
Yes, because that'll be the 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
And then 30 through 45, 50 will be a huge one, you know. But I think the 25th anniversary is the next really big anniversary.
Yeah, it's wild, though, that there are generations of adults that have no consciousness of it.
They have no memory of it, yeah. What is it now? It's 2024, so 23 years ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Florentine woke me up. I was in bed with my girlfriend at the time.
Nice.
Still smoking.
Nice. Smoking hot.
Well, smoking poles. She was.
Not me, though. Not me.
No, I gave her puss a good lick.
Cool, man.
Yeah, thank you.
You're the shit, dude.
But I remember I think we've told this story. We went out that night in 88 at this place called the Crab Shack in wherever we were in, like Edgewater, New Jersey or something. It's crazy, these weird little things. Jim went and got a video card. We wanted to rent movies. We just didn't know what to do.
Like you got a new membership?
Yeah.
In 2001?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
That was not crazy back then. The video stores were still huge in 2001.
Yeah, but it was like the tail end, getting it, like, not... He didn't have a membership already?
Well, I mean, he might have, but not for the one we wanted. And it might have been for... I think he also saw that it would be 9/11, 2001 on a... Even that day, he saw getting something on a card.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But it might have just been a local place that we didn't have one.
Sure.
Too. But yeah, I didn't even think of it, that today was September 11th. They're not as somber as they used to be. Remember that we wear black every year? Now it's just kind of more.
You're wearing black?
I always wear black.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but this is to honor my side fat and tits.
Yeah. Yeah. But luckily, they are still with us.
Yes, they are.
Yes. They've survived.
And the motto is, I can't forget. I have a mirror.
You could, I mean, it is sort of the ultimate trace back to where things went really nuts. I don't think we ever, it's one of those, like, huge tragedies, like, people who were really around for the Kennedy assassination are like, yeah, nothing... That changed everything, and it never went back to normal. I think you'd say the same thing about 9/11. It never really...
100%.
Yeah, that changed everything, and nothing was the way it was before after that, and still isn't to this day.
Because it's a moment. Like, Vietnam was a long war.
Right.
But Kennedy was one single moment. And 9/11 was, I mean, it was a couple, but it's still one singular event.
Sure.
4 planes, one event.
And it's like... Both of those are, it can happen here. Like, this isn't, these things don't just happen elsewhere. You see them on the news, you hear about this can happen here, too. Yeah.
So I don't know if they're doing anything today. Maybe Biden's going to be somewhere or whatever.
Yeah, I think...
he's in New York, right?
I think Biden and Harris are both going to the Trade Center.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know, why is 6th Avenue closed? Unless that's where his hotel is. He's probably staying. Because they said during the debate last night he was at some eatery. At one point, didn't he? Maybe he watched the debate from wherever, but how embarrassing for him.
Yeah, I don't think he watched the debate.
He has to be. But
he's like Sophia with an F.
You think he just packs out?
No, he's like, I'm not involved with this anymore.
The line that got me, and I laughed so hard last night.
Throughout the debate?
No, at one line, I laughed so hard.
Can I guess? Well, whose line was it?
My wife thought that I was choking.
Whoa.
She was concerned. She thought I was choking.
She knows what that sounds like.
She sure does. That's why she's in the country. You don't choke, you don't pay for lawyers. That's what I say.
Whose line was it?
I'm
going to assume it was.
I think I know. Let me. I'm going to write down what I think you're going to say.
Okay.
It's not the one you think. Okay.
I have a guess.
Okay.
Run, spot, run?
No, although that was a good line.
Okay.
I'm talking now?
No.
Okay.
There was a moment, and it wasn't, they're eating dogs.
Eating dogs and eating cats?
It was very, he just couldn't help himself. No, there was a moment.
It was funny, that one moment, real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Sure.
it was, because you're right, he couldn't help himself, because people specifically told him, don't bring up the dogs and cats. It's not real.
It's nonsense.
Don't say it. And he's like, okay, I won't. They are eating them. They're eating them. Yes, they're eating them.
It was a lack of debate prep. Like, he's a guy who just gets in there, and he's so ADD that he's way smarter than people think he is. Like, his brains, but he's able to get away with that a lot until he can't. And like, when he can't get away with it, it shows. Like, his lack of preparation showed.
And when he takes the bait.
Always, there's never been bait that not only did he not take, but he went around the corner to get. He can't avoid it.
Mr. President, that worm has a sharp hook in it. If there's a hook.
That story's been debunked. Yeah. I didn't say very fine people. He doesn't know how. Something tells me she spoke to, like when Gavin DeBecker helped them convict Wayne Williamson of the Atlanta child killings. He told, not Gavin, it was Gavin DeBecker, or John Douglas. He said, John Douglas, get close to him, invade his space.
Mm-hmm.
And they did on the stand, and it got him to snap. Mm-hmm. And the jury saw that this meek, mild man, that's the other side. He was able to get something out of Wayne Williams by, something tells me she spoke to them, people like that, because the handshake, and other things to just know how to get him to unravel a little bit.
Sorry, the what?
The handshake.
Fucking.
Yep.
I was screaming at my television set.
Have fun. He said he didn't know what to say.
He didn't know what to say because he was invaded. It was like I was watching the Giants again. I couldn't believe she screwed me the way the Giants screwed me. I couldn't believe what she had done to me.
Waltzed across that stage.
That's how I saw her. I saw her walking.
I told you.
And she went all the way across, all the way to Trump's podium, and I went, no. And she walked right, and I said, okay, but Trump's not giving her anything, so she's going to turn. She said, turn. And she went right into she said, Kamala Harris. They hadn't met before. And I went.
I thought they had met. Like, I've read that they didn't, but he indicated that they had. I've known it for a long, they had met.
No, he said in all the
I thought he said once that they had
stuff that they hadn't met.
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't think they've met.
Oh, but he said he knew who she was. Okay, yeah.
And I said, do you have any? And then she, right at his podium, outfit him. It was a strong move on her part, but it was real hard to see past my emotion as I was watching it. So I said, do you have any idea what you've just done to me? I will never recover from this financially.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't.
Man. You got something for me? What you got?
And then the tweets started coming in.
Well, there were a couple of bets, weren't there?
There was one.
Was it just
bet.
Sam?
No, it's just
one
one
I
bet.
thought Troy bet you too.
Nope, I should have taken it.
Man, with all these replies I was getting, you would have thought Hamilton was trending.
What you got? You can let that go.
How much was it?
It's $10.
Oh.
She fucked me. I can't believe what she did.
There you go.
And I said she screwed me. She screwed me.
Sam screwed Sam.
Yep.
And
Was it a smart move by her?
it was.
yeah.
Because it unsettled him.
It set the pace.
Yeah.
Especially because she was a little nervous to start.
A little
shaky.
Neither of them were particularly great. I think a lot of it depends on who you agreed with. But he definitely came. He just comes unglued because he gets caught. He's lack of preparation, and that's his style. He's like blitzkrieg, but he keeps repeating himself. keep saying like, the greatest country, the greatest. It's like we got it. Great, make the point.
I didn't do that. You did it.
Just can't help getting bogged down. He gets in his own way, and the same thing that helped him win a few years ago is the same thing that caused him to lose, and the same thing that's probably going to cause him to lose this one.
I was so unhappy watching that handshake.
Yeah.
Because you see, she stops in the middle because she thought he was going to come to the middle.
Right, and he did, and I said, okay, all right. Well, he didn't come to the middle. It's not going to happen.
Oh.
Pauses right there.
And he walked.
Whoa, don't keep going.
Look at how slowly he was walking to avoid doing that.
She's going to make me do it, he said. I said, don't make him do it, Kamala. Madam Vice President, don't do... Ah!
Yeah, it was smart by her. I mean,
It just cost me $10.
I think they should do it. It's kind of dickish not to. It's like a weird social thing that you do.
There's a hostility, though.
But there always
why I
is.
thought she would do it.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
why don't you just take a little victory lap for you? You're so smart. Oh, you make all the great bets. One of the great political minds of all time, Travis Taft.
Yeah.
Is that why you thought it would happen?
Pants are a little light today, huh?
Not all of us are so smart as you, heavy pockets.
Yes, she walks right in, and the
Stops for a second.
and then
Oh,
he was
yeah.
slowing down,
Yep.
hoping that she would go to her podium.
So was I.
And he couldn't refuse to shake her hand.
No,
I mean, that would
once
be,
she was there.
You have to do it.
It would be hilarious.
And his hand, though, is all up. It's just a bizarre moment.
And he said, have fun.
Have fun. He didn't know what to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I think,
He didn't want to say nice to meet you.
no.
It's not nice to meet her.
Have fun.
I don't
So-
think he hates her that much, to be honest. I don't think he hates her that much. He's in the game.
Well, there was one thing what was the line?
Oh, yeah.
It's
The line
one-
that made you choke laugh.
He was talking about something, and he pointed. He was talking about Biden, and he goes, and he hates her, by the way.
I texted Sam. I said, that's my favorite line.
It's my favorite line anyone's ever said. He hates her, by the way.
It was so immature.
It was, and it's probably right. It's probably right.
It's probably true.
I mean, there's a golf cart clip of him where he's telling people that Biden's going to drop out, like way before it happened, and then for a while it didn't look like it was going to happen.
Yep.
Remember Biden was resisting?
Oh, yeah.
And a week earlier or 2 weeks earlier, Trump go, he's dropping out. They got him. He's got, you forget that on that level, they all know everything.
And also, Trump usually says the quiet part loud. Meaning that, like, if there's these rumblings where we all know it's going to happen,
Yeah,
but we're not saying it,
sure.
Trump will be the guy that'll go, no, it's happening. Yeah, it is happening.
and he did.
Yeah.
It's my favorite line ever in a debate. This, to me, just broke. To me, Reagan's line about Mondale's age was the best line in debate history.
You like this better than you'd be in jail?
This is better.
You'd be in jail was a great line. It was also, you'd be in jail was a more powerful line. It meant that to me almost, it just caved her in.
But this is pure.
This was just pure him. He couldn't, he just wanted to say it.
Throwing haymakers.
He wanted her to, he's throwing haymakers.
That's what it
That's
was.
exactly what it was.
Right.
He threw a fucking haymaker.
I'm not going to have a lot left after this, but if one of these lands,
And
my only hope.
I guarantee he's right. There's no way the Bidens they probably don't like the Obamas or her. They probably resent the fuck out of her for actually doing this.
I think they're real pissed about how it all went.
Sure. Please, can we hear that again?
I don't think she cares, though.
No, I mean, she wants to be president.
Yeah.
I don't blame her.
Weak, pathetic man that you saw at a debate just a few months ago, that if he weren't in that debate, he'd be running instead of her. She got no votes. He got 14 million votes. What you did, you talk about a threat to democracy. He got 14 million votes, and they threw him out of office. And you know what? I'll give you a little secret. He hates her. He can't stand her. But he got 14 million votes.
I'll give you a little
They
secret.
I'll give you a little secret, because that's another
I'll
moment.
give you a little secret.
He's like, as he's talking, he's like, I don't think I can't say that. I can't say that. I can't. Yep, he hates her. He hates
14 million votes. Was he just getting the number wrong? What was he talking about?
I don't know what he was talking. She got no. Oh, maybe in the primaries.
Oh, man, yeah, 14
From-
million. She got
2020.
Oh, okay. 14 million votes, and she truly didn't do well. But that line to me,
Oh, that might be it.
He dropped a secret.
I'll give you a little secret. And he pointed at her. He hates her. One more time on that. I want to. He is on a frothed out rage right here.
He's furious.
14 million votes. What you did, you talk about a threat to democracy. He got 14 million votes, and they threw him out of office. And you know what? I'll give you a little secret. He hates her. He can't stand her.
And she knows it's true. They all know it's true.
Yeah, but she also knows that for the purpose of this debate, that doesn't help.
It's not helpful. You know what it is? He talks politics like regular people talk politics.
Yes.
He gets off. He's like the guy at the bar who just will repeat himself sometimes or just gets, no. Like, that's how, there's something very relatable about the way he just kind of, he can't just get it back to gentle talk. Like, he has to just overdo the point. He has to oversell it.
Yeah, I felt like she got into her pocket as a lawyer. Where it was like, found the lane, and like, and then I'll just stay in this lane and kind of prove this case, because lawyers, like, they don't get distracted by any of these things going on outside. It's just like, this is the route. All I prove is what's on this route, and all this other stuff is noise.
That's what it was.
And I have to get that across to the jury.
There was moments like where he was very good. Like, I thought when he was talking about with China tariff, there's certain things about the economy he talks about, but like the first time he says it, where he seems very good. His points of immigration, aside from eating pets, it's too blustery. It's too every country in the world is saying you don't need to oversell it.
Right.
We know what's happening, and you're right. The crime is disgusting. The resources, he should be more slower. Focus on the fact that resources are going into these things and they're being taken from black neighborhoods, not white neighborhoods. Like, focus on these things quietly and meticulously. But he just, you know what I mean? It's a tidal wave. He can't help himself.
He got her a few times.
Oh, he absolutely did.
And there are facts to get her on. And like, the fact that you've got these almost 4 years to go through going like, this is what's wrong, this is what's wrong, this is what's wrong,
Yeah.
here are the statistics behind it, as opposed to just going, it's going to be World War III if you don't vote for me.
Israel's going to cease to exist by Tuesday. It's just, he loses like these moments he could have because he's right about certain points. She was great though. I'll tell you where she killed him on abortion. Because she was, again, bringing up those examples of people, bringing up 12-year-old girls raped and incest, and like, he has no response to that other than the fact that he got it lined up with these fucking people who I don't even think he agrees with. He's absolutely, he believes in exceptions for rape and incest. He absolutely doesn't believe in a 6-week abortion ban, but he's stuck with these fucking DeSantis assholes, and that's a big part of why she's probably going to win.
Yeah, and was the abortion conversation, or was it the immigration conversation where he said he doesn't really talk to JD?
That was about
abortion,
she
right?
said JD Vance has said, and he goes, well, in fairness, I didn't discuss that with JD. Like, he's speaking for, he didn't throw under the bus, but he was clear he was going, that's what he fucking said, not me.
I don't know about that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to be wishing that he could put RFK in that spot instead of JD.
Yeah, because RFK...
People love RFK.
They do, but not as much as they do. I don't even like him as much as I used to. I think I listen to him now, I'm like, shut up.
No, that's true. That's not...
And I loved him.
Yeah, that's true. But he still has... He's got a lot of people that love him, and JD is not panning out, which you, by the way, said from the beginning, this JD guy is not the guy.
No, because it was...
It's not helpful.
The reality was he needed to get people who he might not likely get. That's kind of what they do. And that was why Obama picked Biden.
RFK would help with the, like, I don't want to go back to the liberal establishment, but I also don't like this Trump guy. Well, if RFK likes Trump, I'll swing more towards RFK. I mean, to Trump. It's not a big percentage, but you don't need a big percentage. You need that small percentage.
It's a few people. It's a few states where they're fucking not decided. Smart states, by the way. Any state that's undecided is a smart state. Yeah. Any state that's always a certain state, we're dumb.
That's what you've always said. Anybody who swings, smart.
Well, yeah, for many reasons.
Yes.
For many, many reasons. But yeah, there was
the white dog eaters. He would swing the white dog eaters.
The dog, yeah, that's true.
Well, if you watch, you've seen also animal porn, and most of those people are white.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I thought on abortion she killed him as far as just stating where they were at, but then he wouldn't answer the question of would he veto a national ban.
No.
He wouldn't answer that. There's some she avoided answering too. Like, I forget which one did she not want to answer.
The tariffs. He killed her on the tariffs.
He killed her on the tariffs.
She's like,
yes.
how come they're still there? And she just, sidestepped.
Well,
I get it. That's what you.
That you have to. Yeah. So I thought on those points, like when it's not like just talking numbers in business, he's way more experienced than she is with that because what he did for a living.
But just the fact that he brought it up a couple times. He's like, if these tariffs are so bad, how come they're still
Why did you not take? They can't take them off. They're making hundreds of billions, and he's 100% right.
I mean, she honestly didn't say much. No, you know what I mean? Like
no
she didn't.
policy.
She didn't really say much. She very artfully kind of avoided saying all that much, but she also didn't say, well, I have a concept of a plan. Concept of a plan is
he said that, yeah, and he goes, "There's gonna be details coming out shortly." Like, yeah, he should have had a better answer for that. But she's in a weird position because every fucking thing she has to defend is under her watch from the last fucking 4 years. They're blaming Trump for shit that happened 2 years ago.
Yeah, because there's not. What can you do,
dude? The Democrats have had the White House for it'll be 12 out of 16 years. 75% of the time in the last 16 years. But you know what I mean? Like, if people are unhappy with the country, it's hard to pin all of it on him when there was a pandemic.
Concept of a plan is, Travis sent me a tweet, which I love, a lot of good tweets. But it was a quote that was credited to Cousin Greg from Succession, and I was like, yeah. I have a concept of a plan is a very Cousin Greg.
Oh yeah,
a very Cousin Greg thing to say.
Yeah, that was not a great answer. That was not a great answer.
I have concepts.
I've yeah,
very Cousin Greg.
Like, just say I have a plan and hope there's no follow-ups. You know. Yeah. Let's see.
All right.
Yes or no? You still do not have a plan.
I have concepts of a plan.
Oh,
I'm not president right now.
I'll figure it out when I get there.
And he's almost admitting that he would leave Obamacare if it's just that with tweaks and if there's nothing better, that they would kind of leave that. Like, I think he was kind of alluding to that or saying that.
Yeah, I don't think he did great on the healthcare.
No, he didn't. And she pointed out drug prices and prescription drug prices, which for people who are like on medication all the time, it does matter.
Matters a lot.
You know, that's a lot of money you fucking throw it on the toilet.
I think the moment that he got was when she started talking about his rallies. He got very, very angry.
Like, to feed into that.
I mean, you talk about taking the bait, and this was like maybe 20 minutes or so in. I want to say something like that, and I don't think that he ever recovered from this. I think she knew. Again, this is lawyer stuff.
Yeah,
like, you know the thing. You want to get somebody emotional on the stand when you're pushing them, right? Because then they'll start saying stuff, and you know how a jury's going to react, and she's thinking of everybody at home watching as a jury. So if you can get him emotional and get him angry, he'll start spiraling and talking about World War III and eating cats and all kinds of wild shit.
And he lose fertilization.
He did. That was my favorite quote. He said, "What did I say? I sent it to you, Travis." He said,
"Well, I have it."
Okay. This was probably one of my real
his fertilization. The IVF. I have been a leader. In fact, when they got a very negative decision on IVF from the Alabama courts, I saw the people of Alabama and the legislature 2 days later voted it in. I've been a leader on it. They know that, and everybody else knows it. I have been a leader on fertilization, IVF.
I've been a leader.
In vitro got him. In vitro got him.
I've been a leader on fertilization.
Yeah.
That's actually...
So have you, buddy.
I know. That's what I said to the doctor. That's what I said to the OBGYN. I want you to know I've been a leader in fertilization.
I thought he got around that, though. He was right about that. Like, he actually has said it should not be affected at all.
But the phrasing.
Yeah, terrible.
Leader in fertilization is one of the great...
Yeah.
Like, I want that on a T-shirt.
But he did read he did raise I thought that was a point that he fucking he fought well on. But there was many.
But he had lost too much on the abortion already for it.
Of course. Yeah. There was so much of, like, he eats up his time. He's like almost eating all the other stuff on the plate except for the food. Like what she does is, like, she throws out that stupid thing about the rallies, and what he does is he starts eating all the bread, and it's like the fucking meat is just sitting there being ignored. What are you doing? Wasting your time talking about your fucking rallies.
Because she said it. She knew. She was very smart about this part. She knew if she said they're leaving because they're bored. Bored was the word. When she said they're bored, it was over for the rest of the night. Yeah. He was in a fury. He was frothing from the moment she said they're bored.
No one's ever seen... He literally should have hit with one line, what does she know about rallies? No one goes to her. They have to bust them in. And then moved on. One line, 2 lines, move the fuck on.
Go to policy.
Go to something
something
else.
you've accomplished. Go to something she hasn't accomplished. But he's too mad.
That's what you're worried about?
He's mad.
His rally? Like,
He's
that's what he
angry.
should have said to her. No, I mean, that's what he should have said. Like, that's what you're talking about? When the economy is where it is, and immigration is where it is, you're worried about my rallies?
And then she would have had to reset, figure out, okay, where am I going to... I didn't get him on that
Yeah,
one.
it was a dumb bait take.
She must have... It must have been a similar feeling. Not to the extreme, right? Because when Trump went to that Biden debate, and he heard Biden stuttering and stammering, it had to be one of the greatest feelings that anybody's ever felt. Like, it had to be...
Yeah, he knew.
Heaven.
Sure.
Like, heaven on earth.
Like when he said, I don't understand what you said, and I don't think you do either.
Right, and knowing that, like,
He's like,
nobody's going to be sympathetic. Like, this is mine now.
Yep.
That had to feel great. But for last night, that moment when he
That
clearly
turned
was in a fury, she had to feel so good because her trick worked.
It worked.
Her lawyer trick worked.
He was, remember that he said, like, after he got shot, that moment with his fist up in the air, and people said he's unbeatable now.
I said that.
And we all did. We all kind of thought it. Even people who hated
Not
him.
everybody.
Who didn't?
Sam and Troy.
Troy called it from the beginning.
Everybody was so positive that he was the guy that was when I was like, you wait. you
Okay.
watch.
Okay, yeah, because it seemed like he was on such a roll there. And I'm wondering, where did the wheels come off? Like, what happened? There was something that happened after that. Was it because his RNC speech?
It's just the news cycle. Like, we're just so...
I guess, yeah.
24, and like, forget about it.
But there was
also,
a moment where it switched.
He didn't maintain that sympathetic position. You know what I mean? Because that's part of what it was. It was like, okay, let's get past all this sort of cartoonish stuff. Let's talk about this as a human being. And this really happened to this human being. Maybe we have taken it too far. And he had this moment, even though he's the one that's been at the center of taking things too far. He had this moment to be like, hey guys, like, we have taken this too far.
Yeah.
Let's go back and have this moment. I almost feel like the moment was the speech, like the RNC
Yes.
speech. I feel like you've talked about that moment where he clearly got off the written speech and then did about 50 minutes off the cuff. Those 50 minutes were the, okay, we're done with the...
Oh, nothing has changed.
Nothing's changed. We're done with that.
That's right. It almost, in the beginning, middle, and end of that speech, like, you started off, again, very un-him-like.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, like, wow, this is a really powerful weapon because they're not going to know how to deal with this. And by the end of the speech, again, he just... And then as he's going on...
What moment in the speech maybe it was? When he said crazy Nancy Pelosi. And that was at the RNC speech when he went, crazy Nancy Pelosi. And you're like, oh, he's still...
Yeah, he could have managed this so much better.
He was shitting on Nancy Pelosi last night.
He might have been right, though, about the security. I think he said he offered the mayor, like...
Right or wrong.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's like, oh, she got him on the cycle.
Yeah.
On that sort of, thought.
Yeah. But he talked about it recently, where he goes, no, I don't need therapy. I don't even think about it. Like this, and then you realize, like, that's not a good answer. Like the shooting thing, like, you're not giving the answers that make people go, oh, okay, that thing about him that we don't like has changed.
Yeah.
The thing about him that the people like is still there, but the thing that they don't like hasn't changed. The reason he won is because he is how he is. Mm-hmm. But he really needs
but also
a
the
person,
reason he lost is because he is how he
100%
is.
needs a person in his life
Yes.
who he listens to, who can just tell him, would you shut the fuck up with this?
He fires him, though.
He does, and he also just doesn't listen. He'll just, and it's not going to change. He's 78 years old.
Right.
You don't change that when you're 78.
Not when you're 78, no. Especially when, no matter how many losses you've had, he's had some of the greatest successes anyone's ever had. So the idea of somebody saying, you don't know how to do this right, he's not going to listen to that. So you think, yeah, this is the moment that I think changed things, and I think that he didn't get out of his anger cycle.
Yeah.
Instead of fixing a problem. And I'll tell you something, he's going to talk about immigration a lot tonight, even when it's not the subject that it...
This you could tell it was like was planned. She was like, I'm gonna figure out a way. I'm gonna figure out a spot to hit the. You're not gonna expect this from me, but you should go to his rally. And it worked. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
is being raised. And I'm going to actually do something really unusual, and I'm going to invite you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies, because it's a really interesting thing to watch. You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter.
Oh.
He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom.
Oh, that was
And
it.
I will tell you, the one thing
That
you will
was
not
it.
hear
You
him
can even
talk-
see his eyes move. When she said boredom, out of exhaustion, okay, I can handle. And boredom, what the fuck? They're not bored. I'm one of the great entertainers.
Yeah.
And I don't think that he ever got out of the anger that put him in.
He literally could have ignored the whole thing and said, I'm glad that while the southern border is on fire, she's worried about my rally. He could have literally dismissed it as a petty, you asshole point.
Right.
But he never can do that.
Yeah.
He just can't do it.
I'll tell you what's not boring is blah, 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 what you're doing.
Or if you want to see people not leaving, how about you go down to the southern border where they're coming in? You know,
put it back, bring it back to wherever
right
you
where
want
you want
it
to go. Yep.
Yes.
You don't want to hear the rest, do you?
I mean, it's
'cause it's a 3-minute clip.
Yeah,
Unless
we
you wanna
got
hear
it. We know that it was just psychologically she was she
and
was smart.
that was post Run Spot Run, because Run Spot Run was good.
It was, yeah. What was it? What policy was he talking about?
He was saying something about like maybe her economic policy was like 4 words.
Yeah.
He's like, it's like run, spot, run.
Yeah.
But he hit that early. He didn't need to hit that early. He needed that later. I mean, I laughed out loud when he said
She doesn't have a plan. She copied Biden's plan, and it's like 4 sentences, like run, spot, run.
That's a funny thing.
It's a great line.
But
yeah, abortion is a bigger one. It's not. I think it's number 2 behind the economy, but it's a big one for a lot of people, even in conservative states. They're like,
well, it's more scary than ever because of what happened to Roe versus Wade. Like it's not one of those. When that happened, pro-choice, pro-life became not. Oh, it's one of those things that we'll talk about, but it'll never change. It's like, oh no, it'll change.
This is where conservatives have totally fucked up. The same as the left did with woke shit. It's like you won Roe versus Wade, the states, and now people who are fucking having miscarriages, doctors are scared to give them abortions or to get rid of the baby when they're miscarrying because they don't want to go to jail. Like if you have to leave the state to actually get legit care, like not having a baby sucked out at 8 months. If you have to leave your state because your doctor's scared of going to jail, your state is a fucking is a problem.
But you're right. That's a good point about it happening earlier on the left. Now it's happening on the right. Like you win one, and instead of just saying
greedy.
Yes, you just want to keep.
You want it all,
Yes.
everything. Now, what the national ban? They're
You
all
won't
the
stop.
fucking same.
Yeah.
These people,
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah.
Drives you crazy.
Joe in Dallas, what's up?
Joe?
Good morning, boys.
Hi.
Yeah, Trump shit the bed, and when she did, you're absolutely right. When she said that about his rallies, it was like, oh fuck, here he goes. But the moderators really didn't do him any favors. I mean, fact checking him repeatedly, the tone of the questions, hey, you lied about losing the election, and how do you? The bias really helped set the tone.
You're right. There
Thank you,
was
Joe.
bias with the fact checking, but again, for him to say something like they're getting abortions at 9 months, which like he's just throwing out these these things that again these things that people say that are probably not even true, and
The Twitter stuff.
the Twitter shit, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, just say late term,
Right.
unnecessary late term.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Keep it where it actually makes sense to people because you can win that point.
He's addicted to these big, grand, scary statements. He loves like scaring people.
Yeah.
And going, if this is what can happen, if you World War III, post-birth abortion, this is like all like the really scary stuff. But I can save us from all that.
And he's right about there are these leftists who believe that 7th or 8th month abortions should be fine. 7th especially, or late in the 6th month. There are plenty of people that believe that. So like he could harp on that and say how barbaric it is. But the fact that he goes all the way and he gives these.
But it's like everything you say, especially in that place, in a debate like that.
Yeah.
Everything you say, you should have specific sources and facts that back it up. So that if somebody tries to call you on it, because they're going to try to call you on everything, you can go, nope, here's where it happened. Nope, this is what I was referring to. Nope, here's an example.
And this is what they should do, because they are right. The moderators are biased always. Like they really are. Fox should be for him. They have to get one from one network, one from the other network, and then run it on both networks. Like
that you're right.
I feel like they've done that in the past.
I think
maybe they have.
I think when they did like the 3, when it wasn't so contentious and like people just debated because it's what you did, not we have to create this negotiation.
I feel like that's how it was.
I do feel like it was like one network got one network got the other, and then the third was that combination. Because people realized that is going to solve that. Because I mean, there was this. They don't like Trump.
They hate Trump and they want him to lose, but he does a lot of times hand them the hammer. Like the whole election fucking thing. I mean, it's just you lost the fucking election,
right? But if you had like David Mirror and Dana Perino or something like whatever it is, you know what I mean? Just somebody from each side, because the idea that the news is non-biased.
It's great. We're beyond it.
We're way beyond
We're beyond it.
Yeah, and like nobody thinks that anymore.
No one is convinced that there's a real journalist anywhere.
They're gone.
The only ones who are real journalists are the ones that actually go into war zones.
Yeah.
And actually do like that field reporting where they're wearing a fucking vest, where they're talking in a war zone and hoping that they're not attacked by local. Like, those are real journalists.
Sure. But yeah, they're like political analysts and stuff like that. Like, no.
Oh, wait.
No.
Good question. Is this Brad in Texas?
Let's go to Brad. What's up, bud?
Hey, guys. Yeah, I just thought it was funny, and I haven't seen anybody talking about it this morning, that whenever they asked her about whether or not she had ever met Putin, and he kind of like seemed to be throwing that as a softball, like, you've never met him, right? And then she completely avoided that answer.
I guess, because she said, what did she say? She said, well, I've met with
Zelensky 5 times,
And she never mentioned whether or not with Putin.
Well, he wanted it to seem like she had met with Putin and just failed in the negotiation. And she probably didn't want to admit that she couldn't get to Putin. Like, she met with Zelensky, but she probably didn't meet with Putin, which makes it look like there really was never any type of negotiation. So it's like, why didn't you even try to meet with the president of Russia?
Right.
It makes her look a little weak or like a little lacking access. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear this?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Vice President Harris, have you ever met Vladimir Putin? Can you clarify tonight?
Yet again, I said it at the beginning of this debate, you're going to hear a bunch of lies coming from this fellow. And that is another one.
Okay.
When I went to meet with President Zelensky, I've now met with him over 5 times.
She avoided it, but she did answer it in a way. She goes, that's another lie.
Yeah.
Basically saying, but she didn't, like, he did ask good questions like that. Like, could you clarify? And they asked her about fracking and these things, like, why is your position changed? I mean, again, she slipped out of a lot of them.
Yes. He also got mad when she said she's met with many world leaders and they think he's a disgrace.
Anything that hits his ego, he just can't help it.
Yeah.
He wastes the time they want him to waste.
Yes.
They know he's got 3 minutes, and they know, like, again, with tariffs, he fucking slaughtered her on that. He was right. Take the tariffs off and shut the fuck up, basically.
Right.
But he
the
just
ego is too much.
Gets in his own way. I think you had to, though. In order to come into that system and win, like to literally to alpha dick the entire Republican Party, you have to be crazy. You can't be sane and tolerant. You have to be fucking like a missile.
Yes. And in 2016, he steamrolled everybody, and nobody saw him coming.
And they're still terrified of him. They're still terrified of him.
To an extent, but a lot of people have figured out his game.
The Republicans, nah.
I don't know if the Republicans.
No, I meant them. They were
definitely.
They're terrified.
Now they're all like because there are a lot of them, I'm sure, that don't want to line up because, like, DeSanctimonious tried to not line up.
Yeah,
and realize like, oh shit, no, it's not over. I'm not smarter than him. I better line up.
Or I can't beat him. He's probably smarter. He's probably
not more strategic.
I can't beat him. And
I can't beat him. I can't figure out how to beat him, is what I mean.
I think, in a way, there's a lot of Republicans who are, in a way, relieved to see this happening because it's him probably not going to win, but they will not have to feel the wrath of his supporters.
Oh, so like, yeah, so they don't have to push him out. He'll do it to himself.
Like, it's just happening. And I know that they're going to lose the White House, but they have other stuff. It's just too much noise, even for them. It's like, I mean, this is just too much nonsense.
It's a circus.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's fun.
I mean, sure.
Like, the fact that, like, the VMAs and the presidential debates are running on the same night.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, and because the presidential debates are now so entertaining, and the VMAs have no choice but to skew to 40-year-olds, like, they get slaughtered. You know, nobody's watching that.
No.
Yeah, they moved it.
Was it not on last night?
It's tonight.
That's so funny.
When they announced the debate,
they moved the VMAs.
They said we're moving the VMAs.
Because our 40-year-old MTV fans are going to be watching this entertaining debate.
I went home and watched it. I was at the Cellar.
Of course.
And I left, and I was getting in the cab at like around 9. I actually watched it on YouTube. What?
That might be why 6th Avenue's closed. Oh, no, never mind. They're doing it at UBS Arena. I'm sorry. I thought they were doing it at Radio City. The VMAs.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's at UBS.
Yeah, they used to do it at Radio City.
Yeah, and I was watching it on YouTube. Like, I literally never would make an appointment to go, like, I'm going to watch the debate. I was like, I got to see how both of them are holding up and what's...
I want to hear what he'll say next.
That's right.
I also
if they don't like him, why are they watching?
I also wanted to see how she did. Like,
She started off real shaky.
She did, and she still wasn't great, and I still don't think she's great, and I think he's right. She's a fucking complete leftist.
Sure.
And she's an absolute flaming fucking let everyone in liberal. But...
What's wrong with that?
Honestly, nothing. I mean, thank God for it. We're like frickin' frack here. No, I just... But he is right about her politics. Like, she is an absolute... And he's right to want to throw illegals out of the country. If you're here illegally, get the fuck out. Sorry.
Yeah, he should probably try to get that point across without the pet stuff.
He literally should just focus on the legality of it. Like, you know, again,
but he loves scare tactics.
But it's stupid. It's almost like he's, as much as he works probably really hard and he's always on the go, there's a mental laziness to the details. There is like, he speaks in these grand things instead of, like, to really maul somebody, sometimes you have to laser focus point by point.
He loves hyperbole.
Yes, he does. And who was it that pointed out because he was in real estate? Somebody pointed that out.
That's interesting.
It was a very smart point made by somebody. It wasn't me. And I was, when I heard it, I was like, that's a great point. Where they were like, he's a real estate guy where everything, it might have been Gutfeld. It was like where everything is, this is the most beautiful property ever.
And that's what he used to say all the time. It's going to be the greatest building you've ever seen.
Oh my,
beautiful, gorgeous
amenities,
building.
Perfect. Yeah. This is the best. You speak in these grand hyperbole. Yeah, it might have been Gutfeld who pointed out the real estate tie-in.
That's interesting.
Which I thought was a really smart point. Like, yeah, that's how that's how you sell something.
Yeah.
Brian in Scarsdale. What's up, Brian?
You know, I genuinely don't think there was bias involved with their fact-checking. I'm sure that Harris said things that were exaggerated or downplayed or on the margins wrong, but in real time, they're not economists, the moderators. They can't look into it quickly. But when he says things about the eating dogs and aborting babies after they're born, that's easy to call out as a fact check. So it's not like they were in the tank for her. He was making it super easy to go, that's not true.
You're right about one thing, and I think wrong about the other. He did hand them the hammer, as I said before. Like, I do think he handed them a mallet and said, hit me with it. But I think you're wrong. They were for her. I do think that they were for her, but I also think he handed them the weapon.
I would not disagree with that. Yeah, I think that he said things that people were waiting for him to say, that are over the top things that are easy to go, like, we knew you were going to say this, we had the facts right here waiting for you to say this, and you said it. I also think that she did kind of an artful job again of not saying that much, right? You can't fact check if it's more just like more kind of, this is what I'd like to do, but this is what he did, and kind of knocked it back to him.
And he takes the bait and he says these. I mean, they didn't. But then again, in fairness, they didn't disprove there were certain things, like when they quoted the January 6th thing, they didn't finish his quote. The whole thing about there are good people on both sides, which I believe he was talking about people marching for statues when he said that. I don't think he was talking about people with tiki torches.
Dude, if the good things are, like, if that thing comes up again.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
every single debate, they say it, he says, that's out of context. Like, it's the same thing every time.
But that is a demonstrably false thing. Like he was saying that about, I think, the statues, which is a very big difference between that and a guy who runs a woman over, and they don't fact check that. So they were for her, but he just gave them bigger fucking
check Snopes.
What's that?
Check Snopes on that one.
Why?
Hang on, I'm on PolitiFact. I'll check Snopes after.
You know, the other thing is, maybe I'm cynical, but I really don't think that. I think that the people who run the network, the suits, the CEOs, they are actually for Trump because he equals ratings. If she wins, you got 4 years of kind of normalcy.
I think more
or less compared to him.
Brian, there are like when you get up that high, there are even bigger things than ratings. Like the level of high up that you're talking about and the level of power that people are trying to get and manipulate, it goes even beyond like what will make the network most profitable. It goes like way deep into that where they're in bed with certain people.
But there is truth to the fact that they like the negative, scary stuff brings people back. And when the networks are all talking about this unhinged Trump, it is good for them. Just like Fox, I bet, is deep down fingers crossed that she wins because they can just fucking
scare
pound her for
every night.
4 years.
Yeah.
4 years of mocking her.
I mean, it is always better to be on the other side. Like when Trump destroyed Biden, I was like, I got to watch CNN's coverage of this just to see how they would try to recover. And last night, when I thought like Harris had clearly won by a lot, I turned on Fox to see how they're trying to recover from it. Like there is that fascination of whoever's in charge.
And it is
Thank you, Brian.
Fault. He did not say that neo-Nazis and white supremacists.
Yeah, it was about protesters about the Confederate statue being removed.
Yeah, because he was saying with the people who didn't want the statues removed, there were good, fine people on both sides of it, like protesting for it and against it. It was actually a pretty bland statement. And they pegged it like he cared about that he was saying that this one. I mean, it's just really.
It's one of those things that's like never going to go away.
No, it's just it's the Mikey Pop Rocks thing.
Yeah.
It's the lore.
Yeah.
Even though everyone knows it's kind of bullshit. The fact that she gets bogged down in that is stupid.
She shouldn't have brought it up. It's dumb. Everybody knows that like the truth behind it, is not.
If he handled these things like it just meticulous. I said this about people marching for statues. You know that. Like, if he just calmly dissected that's nonsense, it would have been so much more powerful.
Or even look at the moderators and go, like, can we get a fact check on that real quick?
Yeah, like if you're going to try to fact check, why are you
real
not
quick? Just like fact check, like Troy just said. David Muir, can you real quick pull up Snopes and just real quick check that quote? I just want to real quick.
I'd like to use my 2 minutes for you guys to fact check that.
If you want to and go ahead. You got Google at your position, right? If you can go real quick, like.
That would be so smart for one of them to do. Be like, I'm going to take my 2 minutes for you to fact check that.
Fact check go ahead and Snopes that, because it keeps coming up, and I keep objecting to it, but it doesn't seem to change anything. Could you?
Yeah.
Real quick, Snopes that,
or the line about peacefully and patriotically, like those. Again, he didn't handle January 6th well in life, but he still could have handled that question better.
Yeah, there are specifics. Like it's one thing to generally say you are responsible for this. It's another thing to go, this is the specific thing that you did at this time, and if you can prove that specific thing is false, well, then it puts the whole thing into question.
Yeah, but it's Look, what do we know? I mean, we're doing the same thing everyone else is doing.
It's the best.
Just this is what happened. What do you think?
We're pundits.
No, we're not, because pundits always I know that I'm wrong about half of it. I really, pundits never seem to think they're wrong about any of it.
No,
and they're going to spin it. I guarantee you, anyone who likes Kamala is saying she killed him, and anyone who likes Trump is saying they were so biased he killed her, but the bias hurt him.
There was like I respected the people who were like, yeah, it wasn't a good night for Trump, but there was a lot of bias. It was 3-on-1. Like, that's okay. If
Yeah,
your guy,
it's
like,
truth,
you're
yeah.
admitting what happened and you're still trying to be like, that's your guy, whatever. That's your guy, that's fine. The people that were like, it was 3-on-1 and Trump still won. He won that debate. It's like, come on, dude. What are you talking about?
It was, I didn't like a lot of her answers. I thought that she held it together better. And I think someone other than her, who is better in those moments, would have been a clearly defined killer. But I just think that she's so all over the place. And a lot of her points, she doesn't make the points that I would want to hear. Do you know what I mean? She's not definitive enough. Again, it's vagary. It's weird posturing faces. I was just like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's almost like, don't get too specific about anything because you don't want to lose any momentum.
That I found irritating.
Yeah, I get it.
What did you think, Troy? I mean, I know you're...
I don't think it went well for Trump, to be honest with you. But I did like some of the things he said where he was like, you know, you've been in there for 4 years. Why don't you just go down there and make the change now?
Right,
do it
yeah.
Right now? You know, you've been there for the border. Go down now and sign the border.
Get him out of bed. At 4 in the afternoon.
Wake him up.
Some of those things. But yeah, I mean, he just fills up every second of space with blabbing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's almost like he could have had a little more word economy and been a little more precise.
Yeah, he should have been, because that's a good point. He fucking did say to her, go down and do it now. And she won't do it. She's not going to close the border. She's not going to close the border, and neither is Biden. Mm-hmm. They're going to leave it open, and it's going to continue.
And he asked, he's like, why don't you ask her about, 7-8 month abortions? Why don't you ask her if that's okay? And, they blew that question off.
Of course they did. Because he's right about that. Like, there are people that will go for, not like, late term. And not every state, I think, allowed it. But there was, what was the general consensus of Roe versus Wade? Like, how many fucking months was it? Was it the first trimester was pretty much the accepted time period, the first 3 months? Was kind of what they said. And in the second trimester, it had to be like, there had to be an issue.
Like health.
Yeah, like a health reason. Third trimester, of course, health reasons. But I think that was a really a much harder one to get, was third trimester.
Yes.
But it was kind of like this was the solution. And then at one point, there was a big push for late-term abortions. And that James O'Keefe...
What do you mean a big push? Because I don't think that there was a big push for late-term abortions. I think that was one of those things that they started doing when they wanted to rally support against it. But I don't think there was ever an actual
there's Kermit Gosnell, who was a Philadelphia abortionist who was arrested, I think, for doing these. They had like the way he would rip arms out, like he was a barbarian. Like
right.
There was enough of those guys, and there was enough of Democrats not hitting that. And saying how disgusting that was. So maybe that's what I'm talking about. I remember it came up.
Isn't it funny that you have to go to that extreme, and then when you're like, well, that extreme is happening, so now we got to go to the other extreme to solve it, and it's like...
But Democrats could have handled that better. Liberals could have handled that a lot better, and they should have just condemned that outright. But they don't want to. No one gives an inch.
Right, because it's like, no, our side. No. We go all the way to our side.
Yeah, so they should have just said, it's fucking, it's disgraceful.
As most of them, I'm sure, felt.
After 6 months, you're pregnant. As long as the baby's not dying in you and you're not going to die.
Yeah.
If you've gotten 6 months and it's pretty much, just fucking do it. Have the baby and shut the fuck up.
So Roe v. Wade said that states could not ban abortions before fetal viability, which is the point at which a fetus can survive outside the womb. That was around 28 weeks at the time, and now, because of improvements in medical technology, is around 23 weeks now. So that's about halfway through. So
28 weeks is how many months? 4 to 7? No. No, it's not. No. How many months is that?
4, 6...
Well, 7 times 4 is 28.
No, actually, you're not crazy. Yeah.
But then they brought it down to 23.
But now,
right?
yeah.
So
because of improvements to technology.
So that's 6 months.
Fetal viability.
So that would be right at the end of the second term?
Yeah, that's even longer than I would think. But there should at least be some kind of a system. And maybe the states can work within each.
It also established a framework to govern abortion regulation based on trimesters. In the first trimester, it allowed almost no regulations. Second trimester, it allowed regulations to protect women's health. In the third trimester, it allowed states to ban abortions so long as exceptions were made to protect the life and health of the mother.
That sounds right.
And yet there are people who say that there's no exceptions. I mean, by the way, that's what's going to cost them. There's a lot, and even conservative states.
There's a lot of single issue voters.
And that's one of them.
And that's one of them.
It's a
big
huge
one,
yeah.
Yeah.
That, the economy.
Some immigration.
And some immigration, yeah.
But that one, because there's ones that go beyond just the belief in abortion and people who literally need fucking miscarriage care or having problems, they just fuck that up so badly, making no exceptions. Like, how do you, a 12-year-old gets fucked by her uncle and you tell her you gotta have it?
That's crazy.
You're losing most of the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the country.
Yeah.
And people say, well, it's a baby. God likes baby. Well, then maybe God should have helped the fucking 12-year-old not get fucked by her uncle if he's so omnipresent.
That would have been sick.
I mean, you know what I mean? He could have stepped in.
Yeah.
Maybe had the uncle trip on something.
Would have been a good little lightning strike, something.
But you know what I mean? It's very selective. They're like, well, it's the Lord's baby. All right, well, cool. Then the Lord can step in and stop the uncle from raping the 12-year-old.
Yeah, maybe the Lord gets his baby like later in the 12-year-old's life when she's an adult, meets the man of her dreams. Maybe that's when we get the Lord's baby.
Yeah. For now.
It's a big issue.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, that's the only issue.
And they've handled it horrendously.
And it's for far more people. It's the only issue because of it going away. Because it's become such an influx thing.
And they allowed it to be a religious thing. And whether people are religious or not, most people in the country don't want a religion just to run their day-to-day, and they've allowed it to become that by saying no exceptions, no nothing, fuck you, we don't care.
And that's also, like, as far as single issues go, I think, is the most, like, strict, like you could put in laws for that. You're never going to fix immigration. Nobody's going to fix it. You're never going to fix... The economy is going to go up and down regardless of who's in office. You're not going to round up all the illegal immigrants and kick them out of the country. But you could ban abortion, and you can make laws against this and against that, and blah blah blah.
It's much more tangible.
It's more tangible, and it's more like, if I vote for this person, this will happen.
And we can fix it. I do disagree with it. Immigration is not 100% fixable, but they could improve it.
They could, but every single president that comes in is like, we're gonna fix this, and no, it is never fixed.
It's never fixed. No.
It's worse now than ever before.
Yes, you're right.
Yes, absolutely.
Sucks. And then again,
but just say I'm going to round up 11 million immigrants and kick them out of the country. It's impossible.
It's impossible, but I don't mind having illegal people thrown out. Like when you're arrested, if you're here illegally,
absolutely,
and you're arrested, and it's like it depends. I guess you have to go through a due process, but you shouldn't be catch and release. I don't agree with. Again, having gone through this process for 5 fucking years, still dealing with shit.
It'll change your views.
I can absolutely tell you a lot of places they're going wrong, having dealt with the U.S. government. And then a lot of times they get it right. But it's the
And it makes you feel like a fool for doing it the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it also makes me feel good because I know that we were truthful, and I know that cost us years, and I know that we dealt with real lawyers and real fucking Homeland Security and like everything. My lawyer told me, like, he was an expert on waiver cases, and he said you have to get every I dotted, every T crossed, and there's no favors. He's like, the days of people doing favors, political favors, are over, because if one guy complains and wants to go to the judge, whatever he said, the judge, general advocate, or whatever the fuck person is, he goes, they can raise a complaint, and like whatever congressman or whatever tried to like over influence it, we'll catch a lot of shit. Like, it's not like days years ago. He's like, everything has to be fucking by the letter, because they check things now that they didn't check before. So having dealt with this,
I know. I agree with you.
So
100%.
frustrating.
Yeah.
So frustrating.
Yeah.
Eric.
What's up, Eric?
Yeah, guys, one thing real quick, I think personally hurt him is, when they were talking about the race, and he said she wasn't black, but now she's black, it doesn't matter to me. It's not a good look. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was terrible.
That's bad.
It was such a stupid, like, if he had an example, like he did with Elizabeth Warren, calling her Pocahontas because she was claiming Native American on paperwork and shit like that. Like,
Plus, it was funny.
And it's hilarious.
Exactly.
But if you have that example of Kamala, use the example. Like, look, she said this is where she was writing down paperwork. She said Cherokee or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, and
raise it.
And what's the larger point? You know
that
what I
she
mean?
has no sense of identity. Or that
Okay,
she's-
well then go in
she
that
changes
direction.
her accent.
Right.
She changes accent
Right.
when she's in front of this audience.
Who is
in
this
front
person?
of that audience. This is a person who has no sense of self.
So yeah, raise the larger point, but don't, because otherwise it just makes you sound
Don't
like
get bogged down in race.
especially when you know you're the birther guy. Everybody remembers the birther shit that you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I understand, all politicians, they pander to certain, demographics or whatever. Like you said, he could have brought up the accent, this, that, but she was black. I didn't know she was. It's just not a good look.
Bad.
Yeah.
Not a good look.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah. He should have found specific examples of her talking about being Native American or whatever she was doing.
And have it lead to
the bigger.
Here are the examples, and this means that. So the point is not racial this and that. The point is this. But there's no point other than to just,
just to blab.
Yeah. And then, I know you're always going like, oh, well, who are my favorite pop stars voting for? Because you'd text me, you'd be like, who are my pop stars voting for?
I typically know or they wouldn't be my favorite pop stars.
But it's important. It's very important.
I line up with them.
Yeah. And Taylor Swift made the big announcement, a lot of news coverage of it after the debate. Taylor Swift went on Instagram. She watched the debate before she made her full decision. Saw what both candidates had to say and has shocked the world. Taylor Swift has declared she will be voting for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
It's such an irrelevant...
Well,
like
irrelevant's the wrong word.
You're right.
7.9 million likes on that.
What's funny to
Troy's
me
not one of them.
is people who say things like, I stand with the dramatics and the weight. Who gives a fuck who I stand with? Who gives a shit who she votes for?
A lot of people.
It goes to the point of what weak, stupid people we have.
Yeah. Do I? No. But were they on 10-10 wins? You're the station that gave us Mike Montone to begin with, the station that put that roof over his head. They were talking about it this morning.
I don't know. But I listen to Talking Cowboys in the morning. To get up there, the scouting report with the Saints coming to town.
Well, you got to get updated.
I do. Hey, it's a week-to-week league.
The news that matters.
But were there Swifties who were on the fence?
Yeah, right.
I think a lot of people were confused as to which direction.
Who gives a shit?
No, I think a lot of people.
And I think whoever wrote her statement, she didn't write this.
What? She's a writer. She's a songwriter.
It was written very smart. She's not telling people to vote for Kamala.
No.
Right.
She said, I will be casting my vote for Kamala Harris.
Right. She didn't say.
She said you should read the issues.
Right.
You should do all your own homework.
I just want you to know this is what I'm doing.
So no, that was very smart because there is. I know you don't think endorsements matter. This one is very important.
I acknowledge that they have influence and weight, of course. Like, I know that they do. But to me, they are absolutely valueless. Like, I don't care what anyone else thinks.
But to the candidates, they are not.
No, that's right. They're not. The fact that he didn't kill her on Dick Cheney. This Trump, again, bogged down in nonsense. He should have slaughtered her for Dick Cheney.
Or they make her say something.
Make her, what do you like about this guy?
Like
He's
Dick
responsible
Cheney?
for the Iraq War.
Yeah. You know what he did, right?
Yeah, like like he should have been so prepared.
And now she got Taylor Swift to, like, any wave that the Dick Cheney thing was going to do, the Taylor Swift wave takes over. Taylor Swift has a big wave. And what did she say at the end? She made a comment about Crazy Cat Lady or something?
She signed.
Oh, she's holding the cat. Yeah, that's also a fuck you to
love and
JD
hope,
Vance.
Taylor Swift.
Childless cat lady.
Yeah,
that's a shot
big
at
fuck you.
JD.
Another dumb thing that again he said that a while ago, right? He didn't say that recently.
He said that a while ago. But he JD is so bad at like just navigating,
rebounding,
taking things back. He's on a publicity tour now where all he can talk about is the fact that he was tweeting about the cats getting eaten. Like, and he's not handling. He doesn't handle things well.
Again, he was a junior, so he's just not at that point. You know what I mean? Like where this was we probably wasn't necessarily ready for it. But they made a big deal of her and Brittany Mahomes. Like, who the fuck? Like, it's almost
about
like
her and Brittany Mahomes?
Well, Brittany Mahomes was had liked a Trump tweet
What
or
the
something.
fuck?
And when you like a Trump tweet, that's a very criminal.
What
thing.
the fuck is that tweet?
So they wound up making this big deal of Trump.
That Brittany Mahomes liked a Trump tweet.
And they're like, and then are they not in the same box together?
Well, you can't hang out with people that vote for different candidates.
Fucking insane.
You can't do that.
That it's. I saw Elon's tweet too. It's just
what the. That's the weirdest. That's a weird-ass tweet.
She's a childless cat lady.
Well, Elon said, fine, Taylor, you win. I will give you a child and guard your cats with my life? The fuck is Elon talking about?
He wants to be a comedian. He wants to be a comedian.
Yeah, but Trump is the leader of fertility.
He wants the respect in language that guys like Chappelle get, Chris Rock gets.
He thinks
and he will never be able to do that because he doesn't have that fucking, that he doesn't, you know what it is? He doesn't have like the I'll take a hit humility to be truly funny.
That's right.
He just takes the kind of over the top guys laugh because I'm Elon thing and thinks it's going to work. The moment that should have told him everything he needs to know about his place in free speech and this is when he walked on stage at Chappelle's show and got booed.
He has never had the Tony Soprano moment where he looks around the table and realizes they're all just laughing because no matter what I say, they'll laugh.
He has never had that realization.
Right. Great scene.
It was an amazing scene because, and then he sees Robert Lozier staring at him and he knows he's got to go.
Yeah.
Because he hates me and he's got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elon's just dumb. I mean, like, for such a genius, he's such a social idiot.
And that's the other thing. It's real. It's really difficult.
I'll give you a child.
To be a funny person and be that disconnected from social graces. Like, to not be able.
And to throw his own kid under the bus publicly. I don't care how you feel about trans stuff. You're allowed to navigate
woke
it.
mind virus. It's your kid, dude.
To navigate it that way against your, what is she, 19?
Yeah.
Oh, to say my son is dead or was taken by the woke mind, like you're just humiliating your kid publicly. It's like there's no way. Like Dick Cheney against gay marriage, complete piece of shit, complete hypocrite piece of shit because he has a gay daughter. And somebody, I think, rightfully kind of raised it at the debate. Like, and they go, well, how could you raise this kid? But it's like, he kind of dodged it. Or he certainly didn't vilify his own fucking child for the bigger point. Even a cunt like Dick Cheney doesn't do that.
And also the idea of, like, the woke mind virus kidnapping your child. It's like, well, I mean, where were you, dude?
You're the one, you signed paperwork, right?
Yeah, and didn't you raise your children?
Yeah. And if it's a decision you regret or you think they made a mistake, okay, there's a lot of people that make drastic plastic surgery errors in life. I mean, again, maybe that I don't know how young his son became a daughter. I don't know how young that happened, but
yeah, but that should be a conversation that you and your
family
child have deeply, and so you fully understand everything that happened if you're raising your kids.
Or just talk about how you love your child.
Right.
And you want the best. You know, there's got to be, sometimes you have to just smoothly answer and move on. And when it comes to throwing your own child under the bus publicly or doing combat with them the way you would with an adversary is just a really stupid thing.
Or offering to impregnate Taylor Swift.
That's a great thing. I don't blame her. Who wouldn't?
I'm not saying I wouldn't do that. Yeah. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. I didn't read the Instagram post and go, oh, I get it. She wants Elon to impregnate her.
Plus, she's already going steady.
Yeah.
She already has a dude she's going steady with who makes enough money, and she makes enough money, and he's super handsome and wears Gucci bucket hats.
I don't know what he's talking. I will give you a child and guard your cats with my. It's like.
What are you talking about?
It's not a good joke.
He's trying to sway the vote.
It's not a good joke.
Oh.
Let that sink in.
It's not a good joke? I don't mind the implication, but it's like you're not. I don't know what you're saying.
It's a weird thing to post at 1 a.m.
Yeah, I will give you a child. Maybe he is on pills. His kid said he's on pills. Maybe he is.
Maybe. It's 1 a.m. He's horny. Doesn't know what to do with himself.
Just misses the mark with a joke, which again, who hasn't? I mean, all of us were fucking tanking last night. Happened. Not a great night.
At the Cellar?
Oh.
It didn't go well?
Not terrible, but everyone at the Cellar and the VU was struggling.
But did they at least understand that you're attempting jokes?
Yep.
Okay.
They did.
And they didn't give it to you, though?
No, but it was kind of like this. It was like everybody, and I mean guys that I never see, have a hard time. It's great.
You like that?
More than I like to breathe. But it was just, when the crowd's a little bit, whatever.
A friend told me they went to see a very famous stand-up do like a theater show recently, and had to over $100 tickets, like a real show, like it's a famous person, and said that this comic like bombed to the point where people are leaving because they were bored and exhausted.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you who it is off the air. I wanted every detail.
Yeah, I think I know who you mean.
No, all right.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Let's see. Ooh. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, and said it was like a
Yeah.
terrible. Like,
Oh, wow.
Like couldn't stop talking about how bad
It was a bad show,
Yeah,
yeah.
bad, really bad. Yeah, which is funny.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would much rather hear about that.
Yeah.
A disaster.
I would too.
Not a tepid, okay show. Like, it was a little off, but it was okay. Like a disaster.
Yeah. So Taylor's not swaying you, huh? Is it because she stays out too late? Goes on too many dates?
That's what people say. I do love that song. But I don't.
You do wonder if there's any Trump or Taylor people that were like, oh, well, now I'm not going to vote for Trump.
If you're swayed by a celebrity
I'll bet there
endorsement,
are
you're stupid.
I'll bet there are a lot of people, younger people, who weren't going to vote that will. I'll bet she does have a lot of
older people voting. Yeah,
like
yeah.
The 18 to 22 year olds
100%.
that maybe weren't going to vote that will vote because Taylor's doing it.
But like I said, I don't.
That's the president. Taylor's version.
I acknowledge that there is power in it. Of course there is.
Yes.
I just personally think anyone who's influenced, especially by a celebrity vote, if you're influenced by what a celebrity's doing, you're an absolutely stupid person.
There's a lot of them.
You're a dumb to your guts, to your core. You're a stupid person.
Damn.
If you like or dislike a celebrity by who they vote for, like I don't give a fuck. I'll watch James Woods act in anything. I don't care about his politics.
Yeah, but there's rumors about him that you think is cool.
They relate to him.
And that goes beyond.
He has one and I act like one. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't care what his views are.
No, I get
Trans people, gay, I don't give a fuck. I love his acting.
You separate the art from the artist.
I truly don't give a shit.
Right.
If Hitler was a better painter, I'd hang one of them in my house.
That's yeah.
But
you
he
don't
wasn't good.
You don't want to do
But
that.
he wasn't that good.
No, he wasn't very
He's
good.
easy to dismiss.
Yeah.
But
You're
his art is not good.
You're right.
It's good for Hitler. Like that, you look at his paintings, you go, wow, for a guy who killed 6 million people, it's not.
Yeah.
It's actually fairly thoughtful.
His skill set's elsewhere.
Yes.
This just happens to be another thing that he
Yeah,
does.
I mean, organizationally, he was pretty good. But,
Yeah.
I don't care about what people think at all. I love Ozzy. I don't know his politics. I
Right.
don't give a fuck.
I don't think he gives a fuck either. He likes the History Channel.
No, but he is more aware than people think. Like, he
Like
focuses. Yeah, I told you, I saw him. This is back in 2016. The first thing he goes, what do you think of Trump, Jim?
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
That's fun.
First thing, and we talked about, like,
That's such a fun conversation to have with Ozzy.
Yeah, and also like police shootings and just like general conversation. But he's up on all of it. People don't think he is. But I mean, like, there was no debating. It was just
A friendly
a chat.
conversation.
Yeah, but I wouldn't care if he was radically one way or the other. I'd still love him.
It's so funny. Like, I've had so many conversations with human beings, like friends.
Yeah.
That like, well, you could talk about politics and it's okay. Like, everybody's okay. Whether you have the same opinion, different opinion, it really doesn't matter. You just, whatever. You're just having a fun conversation. And then every now and then, there's somebody who, like, is Twitter come to life and throws, like, a hissy fit over nothing. And, like, they don't understand. I've been in conversations where people leave the room in outrage. And they don't understand that when they leave the room, the rest of the room, regardless of whether they agree with that person or not, is looking around going, that's fucking crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Like, he's got to get a hold of himself.
Yeah.
That's real life.
Trump dismisses Taylor Swift's endorsement of Kamala Harris, says he likes Brittany Mahomes much better anyway. Good. At least he didn't
Well, that's not really a dismissal.
take the petty bait. At least he didn't make it a bigger picture thing.
He's always been a Brittany Mahomes guy.
I mean,
I like Brittany Mahomes much better. Mike, you're a football guy. Where do you rank the players' significant others?
It's really not an element of the game I had spent much time focusing on.
I mean, he literally could have said, Taylor should vote her conscience, and so should it. Like, there's such a better. Every time you hand him an opportunity, he fucking can't. It makes me very angry.
I think it rules.
He can't. He has no ability.
Where did he say that?
To take a high road and get a win out of something.
Let's find the clip, because I got to hear it. Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right, Jim.
No ability to take that fucking moment and make it a win. And he's not. It's impulse. It's impulse control.
Yeah, Taylor should vote her conscience, and I can understand why she would feel certain ways. I think that there's a narrative going around about this and that and this, but the facts are this, that, and this, and now it's back in your court. Not, I like Brittany Mahomes much better.
Well, I actually like Miss Mahomes much better. I was not a Taylor Swift.
Let's hear the... Is this it?
Just to finish up on that point then.
By the way, Lawrence is doing a very good job, I have to say. He really is.
He's doing a great... Hey, I've got a quick question for you. Out of nowhere, after the debate last night, Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris. What do you think?
Smart.
Well, I actually like Mrs. I actually like Mrs. Mahomes much better, if you want to know the truth. She's a big Trump fan. I was not a Taylor Swift fan. It was just a question of time. She couldn't. You couldn't possibly endorse Biden. You look at Biden, you couldn't possibly endorse him. But she's a very liberal person. She seems to always endorse a Democrat, and she'll probably pay a price for it at in the marketplace.
Can you pause
I
this? She sells out football stadiums night after night.
Where?
Everywhere on Earth. She's doing anything on the moon.
You talking about globally?
Everywhere. She sold out the space station. No one gives a fuck about her. Like, it won't hurt her at all.
No, it won't. They'll still hate Scooter Braun.
Oh my!
Seats behind the stage sell for $1,000.
Dude,
do they really?
Yeah, you can't even see.
And you can't hear well.
They're called no-view seats.
And they're behind the speaker?
And they're behind everything.
That rules. Just for the vibes.
$1,000.
$1,000 for the vibes.
She's not going to pay a price in the marketplace at all.
No, of course not.
She's not going to she's not, she would outdraw you and Kamala together. Like, it's on a Monday.
You don't think this is a go woke, go broke situation?
I mean, that's, to me, like, I didn't mind laughing through it and go, I prefer Miss Mahomes. All right, that's kind of funny, but to, like, actually make it go, she's going to pay a price in the marketplace.
What?
Just say good for her to vote her conscience. Who cares?
Yeah.
Don't talk about her like she's a serious political mind.
Right.
Well, she always endorses a Dem. Who the fuck cares?
But he, to your point about the debate, can't give a 30-second answer. He's got to go on. He's got to fill time with words.
He also, and she brought this up at some point later in the debate, he needs to stop talking about Biden. He's not running against him.
No, although the only
I understand what he's trying to do.
You have to lump her in with his shit record. There is a point to that, and he is the sitting president.
But he's not really
about him specifically.
Yeah.
And if anything, it just points out that, like, Kamala's better.
It does, yeah.
You know, when he says, well, she couldn't have endorsed Biden, it's like, oh, so, yeah, Kamala's better. It credits Kamala more than anything else.
Yeah, that's right. And he really had his hopes up to run against Biden.
Yeah, he was. I mean,
that was a slam dunk.
You know
People
what?
thought he was unbeatable.
He's probably really glad that the podiums were like above the waist when he was debating Biden.
Yeah,
because I bet he was hard as a rock.
Hard as a rock.
You think so? Of course he was.
Like, he was looking forward to it.
Oh yeah. Oh my
This is
God.
like a rule.
I don't watch King of the Hill, but there was Nikki was watching one and it made me laugh. Did you ever see the one where? Wait, is it King of the Hill I'm thinking of? With the big, who's the big fat guy? Peter? Family Guy.
Family Guy.
Sorry, Family Guy. Where there was one of his friends or whatever was dating this like hag, and the guy was pretending he was gay so he can get the marriage annulled. No. Okay, forget. Just a line that made me laugh.
Let's go. Let's hear Trump put a bow on this bad boy.
Oh, there's more?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Brittany, I think Brittany's great. Brittany got a lot of news last week. She's a big MAGA fan. That's the one I like much better than Taylor Swift.
Right. Brittany is
Mahomes.
Yeah, they're Mahomes. They're great friends.
The wife of the great quarterback, and he is a great quarterback.
My favorite team from Kansas City.
I think she's terrific.
It's just more heaping praise on Brittany Mahomes as if either one of them matter.
And by the way, what he is doing is he is in a way forcing her to come out and go, I don't endorse Trump. Almost like he's putting her in a shitty position. Like,
right, where she's like, look, I like to tweet, that's fine, but I don't endorse any political candidate, and I certainly don't endorse...
Yeah, it's just so silly.
It's ridiculous.
I am once again going to throw my vote out and vote for some third-party idiot.
You're voting for the guy who you don't know his name?
Don't care. Because I can't vote for her because I don't like her.
And you can't not vote.
I can, but voting for him in New York is a waste. Mm-hmm. It's a waste. And so you make, whatever.
Yeah, you just not vote.
Yeah, don't
You
vote.
cannot vote, but I kind of want, again, every little nod to a third party will hopefully eventually give
Do
people the
something.
balls to, if a third party gets, if there's 4% that want a third party that don't vote, and the third party gets 5%, he could have got 9%, and maybe that makes people, but whatever, who cares? I don't care what people vote for.
Biden was furious yesterday.
Was he?
Did you hear what he said he was going to do? He's fucking livid. I've never seen a sitting president this angry. The things that he is threatening to do, like I was like, oh my God. I mean, just so blatant about it. It was terrifying, to tell you the truth. It's like they really must have screwed this guy over because,
The debate, and tomorrow I'm doing 9/11.
Oh shit!
I'm doing 9/11.
He said he's going to come today. So he said this yesterday. He said, tomorrow I'm doing 9/11.
By the way,
we haven't had one of those in 23 years.
Yes, we have. His first debate. He already crashed a fucking plane into the podium.
Bro, he's going to do 9/11.
He's saying the quiet part loud.
What the fuck, dude? I'll tell you, if anything happens today, I know he's responsible.
See? Knew it was the government.
Imagine being that pissed. Do you have the full...
Yeah.
Because there was a longer version of it that I heard that I was like, okay, what? He's going to do what?
Let me go back in our text.
I'm doing 9/11. It's funny.
That's scary stuff.
He is in it's been a rough 4 years, 5 years for his family.
I love that they lied.
4 years?
Yeah, for his family, it's been a rough 4 years.
They lied to him, too. They said they let him bow out gracefully. They didn't. I think he bought that. I think he was like, okay, gracefully, right? Fuck it, then. I'm going to do 9/11.
Yeah. Here's the fuller clip.
Yeah.
This is the clip that we saw.
I'm going up to my granddaughter's birthday in New York. Then we're going to watch a debate. And then tomorrow I'm doing 9/11.
That's terrible. Don't do it, Joe.
Not good phrasing. I'm doing 9/11.
I'm going to watch the debate, and I'm going to go do 9/11. Like, do not do. I understand the debate's going to be very frustrating for you. I get it, and I like that he knew in the afternoon. He was like, I'm going to watch that debate, and I'm going to be fucking furious. And there's only going to be one thing I'm going to be able to do. That's 9/11, dude. I'm going to go do it.
I'm going to do some 9/11.
Oh, yeah. You're all in for it. That's terrifying.
It is a nutty fucking time. It's like when Nixon stepped aside.
I mean, but can you imagine the president, he gets pushed out of office because he says things like, he goes on television, he goes, I'm going to do 9/11. What?
He just,
What?
Everybody knows what he means.
Yeah.
But he
it's
said
so
it. He still
funny.
said it. Everybody knows exactly. They know where he's going. They know. But that's the way he said it.
Fool me once, shame on
you.
Fool me. Won't get fooled again. That's an all-timer.
It's an all-timer. Yeah. But and part of it is the internet, and part of it is it's half the internet and half everything is crazy. But I think the internet has also made everything crazy. But we get fool me twice, can't fool me again every 3 days. You know, that's stuff that used to be, this is forever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to do 9/11 would have been, years. It would have been a soundbite that would have lasted.
It would have been Dukakis' fucking helmet. It would have been Gary Hart's caught with the girl. Just those things that you can't shake.
It happened less than 12 hours ago. We've had at least half a dozen bigger moments since then.
Yeah, we were 90 minutes into the show and we're like, oh, this clip.
I guess this happened.
Yeah.
But so much other stuff more important happened before.
Let's see, where's this one?
That's President Bush.
Yes.
Because we're trying to figure out how best to make the world a peaceful place.
I see.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. It fooled me, we can't get fooled again.
That fucking rules.
Yeah.
That rules
just
so
coming
hard.
apart at the seams.
He knows without knowing what
coming apart. At what point when you say it do you realize, oh, I don't know the rest of it?
It's when he said, fool me once. Fool me once, shame on Then he went,
I don't know where this is going.
Oh,
shit. Is it shame on me
When
or
do
shame on you?
When do I get shamed and when do they get shamed?
Who's shaming?
And he's thinking about what's the logic behind this quote anyway.
This is
no, I'm lost.
It's like watching someone sing the second verse of Auld Lang Syne. Like, no one knows the second verse. May all acquaintance be forgot. No one knows where it goes. Imagine having to sing that into a mic without backup people. Yeah.
Scott.
That was part of his charm, though. His ability to navigate. These moments he had, which was a lot
got away
of them.
with like war crimes because of it.
Yeah.
His ability to navigate these moments and just kind of smoothly glide out of them like, all right, well, I didn't say that right.
Hey, man, that's me.
And have a sense of humor about it.
I'm W.
I think that's the difference. He had a sense of humor about himself.
And he made that thing he did.
That's a good movie.
Where he had...
Which movie?
That thing he did.
That thing he did where he had the guy doing the Bush impression on stage with him, where it was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Was it Will Ferrell?
No, it was a guy who died, actually. He did a great Bush.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, you can find it. It's, he did a really, really good George. And George was talking, and that guy was playing George's thoughts.
Steve Bridges?
Yep, Steve Bridges. So George would talk, and the other guy would, I believe, talk as his thoughts. It was a killer fucking...
Oh, I remember this dude.
Yeah. He passed away?
He's dead, yeah.
Rest in peace. That's so funny. Doing his mannerisms.
It was a perfect Bush impression.
Members of the White House Correspondents Association, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, here I am.
The lean in, the face.
Yeah.
Really good.
Here I am at another one of these dang press dinners.
Look at
Could
him.
be home asleep. Little Barney curled up at my feet.
He's like smiling a little.
I gotta pretend I like being here.
Wow, he's good.
I mean, it was a perfect Bush impression.
The media really ticks me off. The way they try to embarrass me by not editing what I say. Well, let's get things going or I'll never get to bed. Thank you, Mark.
All right.
And
That's
then it
very
moves
funny.
on.
That's very funny.
But Bush, it was so well handled.
It was a different time.
But you know what? People thought this was crazy.
Yeah.
People thought W in the White House was like nuts.
Yeah.
But this might be the best bit that's ever been done at that event. It was
good.
just a really great. Can you imagine if Trump and Shane did something like
Never.
But you know what I mean? Like,
hilarious.
It would be so goddamn funny.
It would be.
He doesn't like to laugh at himself, though.
And he doesn't even go to the thing.
No.
He doesn't like the press.
They're mean.
They're mean to him. Except Steve Ducey. I think he likes Steve Ducey.
Yeah, Steve Ducey asked a good question. That was a smart. We're
The
gonna get a
deuce is
clip
loose
out of
is what
this.
they always say.
We're getting a clip out of this. We're getting a clip.
Oh, yeah.
And he asked the Britney question.
No, that was...
yeah, that's not Steve Ducey.
That's the other
Steve
Ducey.
Ducey is the...
who's that guy?
Steve, that's...
I don't know his name. But Steve Ducey is the White House.
Steve Ducey is the White House.
I'm thinking that's the morning guy. Okay.
No,
yeah.
Steve Ducey is the White House.
Oh, yeah, I
guy.
meant the morning
I think
guy.
that the morning guy might be another Ducey, though.
That's Steve Ducey. Wait,
So I'm right.
Fucking White House.
It's a different Ducey. I think the White House guy is the...
All right, but I'm right. Steve Ducey is the morning guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the other Ducey is the son. Unless I'm crazy.
No, hang on.
Yeah. Come on.
I got it. Relax.
Get those spindly
Peter
fingers.
Ducey.
Huh?
Peter Ducey.
Peter Ducey is
What
the
were you
White
saying
House.
about my fingers?
I said they were looking good.
Thanks, bro.
Because he got my $10 on him.
Yeah. My pockets
Is
are heavy.
Peter Ducey the White House guy?
Yes.
Steve Ducey's the TV guy.
And Steve Ducey is his father.
Yeah. Yeah. And they both have that same like, I'm going to make a clip out of this.
Smart.
Let's shake things up.
Can we see, Travis? Can you just see who was the comedian the year they did this?
Peter Ducey, Nepo baby.
Oh, like who hosted the...
Yeah, because the comedian has to follow the president. and which is a very hard gig to do. You have to follow the guy killing, talking about everything.
Yeah.
And I want to know who the fuck had to follow this.
Colbert.
Oh, that's a good one in 06.
I thought he had a rough time too. If I remember correctly, Colbert had a rough time.
No, because I think he was still doing the Colbert Report.
Yeah, he did the
so
character.
He was in character.
No, I know, but if I remember, it didn't go as well as... I mean, I don't think he bombed, but I mean, it wasn't like Don Imus, who had a rough one. I think it didn't go as well as...
Maybe they didn't like the character?
Again, with this, was so impossible to follow.
Yeah, I don't know.
At the same table with my hero, George W. Bush. To be this close to the man.
Yes,
I feel like I'm dreaming. Somebody pinch me. You know what? I'm a pretty sound sleeper. That may not be enough. Somebody shoot me in the face. Is he really not here tonight?
Dick Cheney.
Damn it. The one guy who could have helped. By the way, before I get started, if anybody
it was
needs
a
anything
rough,
else to say-
especially after that last bit, which was like really accurate and funny, but also like didn't.
It's pretty smart when you like.
How do you follow that? Imagine.
Right.
By the way, if I would love to ask Colbert one time, if what were you thinking, listening to the fucking wall shake during that bit?
And he's making fun of himself. So for then you go up there and make fun of him after we just enjoyed him making fun of himself, it's impossible.
And mean jokes like Dick Cheney getting shot in the face when Bush was so fucking... Like when something is as likable and as friendly as what those two are doing and it murders... Oh, it's like going on after Ryan Hamilton killing.
Right.
You're like, oh no.
But that's
They're
also
gonna hate my guts.
It's also somebody who's like a chess player, understands the room, goes, okay, I know what he's going to do. What if I do this? Get the steam for myself.
Yeah.
And have people leave on my side.
Because when people laugh at something that is really, I don't say good natured, but funny, like it hits the mark right, and it's not over the top or it's not dirty, and then you go on being caustic. A lot of times it takes a couple of minutes to get people going because they've just had this nice experience.
W's got to be so happy to be done with this.
He's finished.
Jab's probably furious because he didn't get his turn.
No.
Because they made fun of him in his hoodie.
Well, he did that to himself.
He's a drip.
Isn't it funny that if Donald hadn't run, there was a good chance that Jeb was not only going to run but win?
He might have, yeah. Yeah.
Like it was his turn.
That fucking drip.
Look, keep in mind, there is no disagreement between us. His status is a drip. I agree with.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I know. Yeah, he is just a drip. Yeah, I mean, somebody new, like...
yeah.
Real quick.
Everyone is downtown.
Look at this lineup at the 9/11.
Everyone's there.
Oh, Trump is there, yeah. Oh, of course.
Oh, wow. And JD gets front row?
Yeah.
Who's there?
So you got...
Giuliani?
Schumer,
yeah, I guess he has to be.
Kamala,
Good call,
Biden.
Troy.
Wow.
Bloomberg? Little Mikey?
Yeah, they should have put him next to somebody else.
Give him a little apple box or something.
Oh, but it's so funny how much they all hate each other.
Trump, JD,
Wow.
Giuliani. Then behind Giuliani is Don Jr.
Oh,
and there's Eric, mouth slightly agape.
But
Trump shook Kamala's hand here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Give me another 10.
No. We didn't do a 9/11.
Did he shake Biden's hand?
Trump's so bored.
I just saw him shake.
Can we see them
why
walking
not?
in a meeting? Is this live? Yeah, it's
This
live.
is not live.
Okay.
This happened
5 moments ago.
This
30
is
minutes.
this is a twit vid, right?
Yeah, this is a Vine.
Yeah. I'm assuming that in a moment like this, you
Some people-
cannot be seen as petty. You can't. You just can't.
Some people wait a lifetime for a moment like this.
Yeah. For New York, you just can't be. You can't. Even Rudy has to be there. Like, whatever. He's a fucking idiot, but he was the mayor.
Why does Trump have to do that? Even his, like, the fact that he's gazing off, like, they're
He
shaking
gave her a
hands.
friendly handshake.
He did.
Like, I beat you.
And by the way, he went right past Biden. He's just staring straight ahead.
Oh, my God. Biden looks like he's propped up.
To be fair, I don't know when Biden got there, if they had already shaken.
Oh, maybe they did.
I think they positioned Biden there 3 hours in advance. Just tell him to
He's
stand.
been there since last night.
Yes, just tell him to, because, his sensitive, it's like a dog. Like, if you're going to leave him alone for a half hour, you might as well leave him alone for a week. They don't know the difference.
Yeah, but he seemed to give her a warm. He knew.
He knew what?
That it went well for her. It
I
wasn't.
think he thinks it went well for him.
He does, but he's not that stupid. He knows that there's a lot of momentum in her favor. He reads what we read. He spins it his own way, but he still reads the same shit we read.
She didn't shake hands with JD, though.
Well, he said the reason that they immediately asked for another debate is because that's what you do when you lose. You ask for a rematch.
And the room that he was in when he said that, don't they call that the spin room?
Yeah, that was the spin room.
Does he shake hands with any of the other ones? With Biden or with Bloomberg?
I don't want to. I have too many tabs.
Or does he go full Key and Peele Obama?
All right, here's... I don't know. So he shakes hands with Kamala. Biden's already there, so who knows if they've already said hello.
Right, but Biden's just lost.
Yes, he's not 100%.
He's just lost.
He's not 100% where he's at.
No, he's busy. He's doing 9/11.
His hands are in old people posture.
He's an old man.
No, but I mean, he's looking.
Checked out. Yeah, I mean, he's been checked out for years.
Imagine Trump. Imagine fucking Bloomberg, that little twerp. He's got more money than both of them put together, by the way.
Yes,
he's got more money than anybody else in that line put together. And he's got to stand there, little Mike Bloomberg.
Little Mike.
You know how much he hates standing next to 6'4" Trump?
Yeah.
And Biden's a tall guy, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
He's like, somebody fucked me.
Yeah, Biden's like 6'3", yeah.
You couldn't put me next to the chick?
Yeah, you couldn't put me next to, like, Schumer and Kamala?
How about next to Rudy on the outside?
Yeah.
They need a buffer. I bet Biden and Trump would not stand next to each other.
No, you're right.
So they need to put the little guy in there.
Yeah.
Is that...
And there's no way Trump is standing next to Schumer.
I'll do it.
He considers Schumer less than.
No, you know what? You're right. That's a great point.
I think that was the only call to make because Biden and Trump weren't going to stand next to each other.
And you know what would have been really nice?
And neither one of them would do it, by the way. I don't think.
You know what would have been really smart?
What?
If they put JD on Biden's side and Kamala on the, just mix it up and make this a non-political standing thing.
No, but you don't want JD to be too in the middle.
Yeah, you want to be able to. You got to crop him out.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying move him to the side. But
or maybe even leave JD at home.
The idea that you have to have these two as the team, those two as the team, it's just.
Well, they have to be.
Those are all. I mean,
no, but it doesn't. With something like this, this should be something that doesn't matter where they stand. The whole country. How beyond what politics? That's what that message should have been from all these idiots.
They're not doing it. Not in this day and age.
They're not.
They would have done it at one point.
Maybe, yeah.
How come Waltz didn't get to go? How come JD got to go, but Waltz didn't get to go?
Great point.
Maybe he said, you know why? I bet you Tim Waltz is at some other memorial. He's probably somewhere. I don't know who else. Who's in Pennsylvania? They're all in New York.
Let me see who's doing 9/11.
Who's in D.C. or are they all going to D.C. later?
I don't know if yeah, because I don't think they stand in front of the Pentagon or anything.
Oh, maybe not.
Because of security and stuff.
It might be too open next to the highway or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, this is the big sort of
the towers.
One.
Yeah.
He is attending events to commemorate the anniversary. His office did not say where the event will take place.
He was not invited.
No.
Yeah.
Although, no, I'm sure Vice President.
There's an event at a local Chili's that he'll be attending.
Yeah.
He's hosting bar trivia.
Yes, the name of the pilot. I don't know what they're all laughing about for these photos. What the fuck are they all smiling for? Like literally, this is supposed to be a somber event. You don't have to smile.
But like I said earlier, it's less somber as the years go by.
I would turn around and get a selfie. If you can get a selfie with Trump and Biden and Kamala, I mean, that's.
Would you try to angle yourself to kind of scoot JD out of it?
No, I'd want JD. I mean, he's the vice presidential candidate. Yes, 100%.
I'd probably ask him to take the picture.
Yeah, JD.
Like Eddie Van Halen in that photo?
Yeah. What was that, a Tool?
It was some kind of it was Tool, yeah.
JD sees you with your phone and goes, would you like a picture? You go, yeah, could you take it?
Yeah. And somebody asked Rihanna to take a picture of them and somebody else a couple weeks ago, like backstage. I don't think they knew who.
Did she do it?
Yeah.
That's got to be fun for celebrities.
I bet you when celebrities get asked like that level, they're probably like, I'd be happy to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A, you're not bothering me, and B, you will find out who I am and really regret it.
Also, if they're cool, I think it'd be fun if they turn the selfie thing on and just took a picture of themselves real quick. Just hand the phone back. Because at some point they'll realize who that person was and just have a fun little selfie on their phone. Not together, but just know.
Or take one with them as a goof. Like, can I do it too after? And then they'll know.
It was like football players and some little kid.
Soccer
players, sorry, not football.
Football.
And what did he ask?
He wanted to take a picture with the football players.
Football players, and he was like, hey, bitch, Take these.
He called Riri the B word?
Yeah, I think
Where
so.
is she?
That's her in the
she's
hat.
taking the
I
picture. right
can't
there.
see. Oh, that's her sitting?
Yeah, that's her.
That's funny.
This is her in the 00 jersey.
Double O's.
Double O's.
Oh, that's so funny.
Now the kid is like, hey.
Can you take a picture? And she did.
Yeah, hey, lady. One with me, too?
He didn't know who she was.
No. No clue.
That's right. They got footage together.
He doesn't care.
No, he doesn't.
He will someday. Like, oh, I fucked up.
He likes those football.
I guess he does.
Except for the football. Wow, what a lineup.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
What a lineup in New York.
Biden and Trump not even looking at each other. That's awkward.
Biden doesn't know where he is.
Yeah, Biden's not moving his body.
He's like, when do we do 9/11?
Biden won't look at Harris either. Biden's like, I hate all of you so much. I'm doing this shit.
Well, that's the thing.
You
He
imagine
embarrassed
I'm doing
because
it.
Trump told the secret last night.
Biden hates all of them.
Biden
Because he
just-
feels betrayed by Schumer.
Oh, yeah.
I bet he doesn't hate Rudy.
Everyone betray him.
I bet he doesn't hate Rudy because Rudy's just a drunk and he's like, nah. Rudy
Biden-
didn't do anything to me.
Biden keeps leaning into Harris going, it's true.
Yeah.
It's all true. I do hate
I don't know why you'd say that.
I hate you.
Hate your guts.
I really hate
And now it's time to get a plane.
None of them hate Bloomberg. None of them hate Bloomberg. Even Trump doesn't hate Bloomberg. He's
No.
You know, he's just a little twerp who got steamrolled.
But has all the money.
Threw $100 million down the toilet for a month.
He fucked himself, though.
Ugh.
With that whole NDA thing, and he wouldn't, like,
Yeah, it's just.
I don't think
commit
so.
to, like, letting these women out of NDAs.
He should have let them out of it. They signed it. Like, literally.
No, but it was a bad play on the.
It was a bad play, but he should have just said that it's a legal document. They signed a legal. Like,
I
that's how
don't
it works.
think so.
Yeah, but that hurt. That killed him.
It did.
Yeah.
He was dead anyway, though.
Sure.
They
He spent
cracked
his
out.
own money.
But
Yeah, I mean,
Why
there's
is
something
that-
to be said for that.
Yeah.
why is Bloomberg there?
He was the mayor of New York right after. I mean, he took over from Giuliani when they wanted to.
But you would think that Giuliani would get the center square. I
That's
mean,
a great. Well,
he's
Giuliani.
America's-
They're lucky he's there. He's only there
Wouldn't it be
because
great?
he was the mayor.
Wouldn't it be great if they arrested him at the? They're like, "Yep, gotcha."
Giuliani's only there because he wants to ask everyone to do his podcast.
Yeah,
Like Giuliani's the one who's getting cropped out of all the photos. Look,
Yeah, that's true.
It's
because he's on the
Bloomberg.
other side of JD.
Yeah.
and
Well,
they're cropping Giuliani out.
I'll bet you Trump said, "I don't want Rudy next to me," or I won't. Bloomberg, fine, because he was the mayor right after. But I don't. Biden and Trump did not want.
Neither Biden nor Trump
Wanted Rudy there, yeah.
there.
Common ground.
Because he's
Yeah.
far better
Rudy's
known.
insane.
He's far better known as the disaster he's become than of America's mayor. 23 years.
It is crazy what a mess he has become.
You mean the guy who booked the Four Seasons?
You know, Borat.
Yeah, and it disbarred, disgraced. Yeah, and all in the last 5 years.
Yep.
The
Over
Four
nothing.
Seasons
Over nothing. Over nothing.
He's like, I
meant to do that.
I really helped with this thing too, you know. Yeah, we don't really remember that.
I firmly believe it was his drinking that did it. Like, you know what I mean? He's just a drunk who would just fuck up. I wonder, did he speak at all or no?
Rudy Giuliani.
This morning?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not sure, but I don't think any of them speak. They're just there.
Oh, I
They
see.
read the names.
Okay.
They, the bells ring.
Hey. Drunk who would just fuck up. I wonder, did he speak at all or no?
Rudy Giuliani.
This morning?
Yeah. Oh, I
They
see.
read the names.
Okay.
They, the bells ring.
Hey.
The guy from the hair dye? No. We're not going to stand next to him.
Commemorating.
Ain't no debating.
I'm a good debater.
Oh, really?
I'm a master debater. Master at it. I'm a master debater.
You can stay the full debater. People will still get it.
Do you think do you think dropping, silently mouthing the D ruins it?
It really does. Because it takes any semblance of subtlety out of it. And it's like, that's not even how anybody would have said it.
Master debater.
Yeah, I got it.
That's hateable.
So after this, Harris and Biden are going to Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah.
Trump will go to Pennsylvania later. And then Harris and Biden are going to Arlington.
Oh, maybe they don't do right in front of the Pentagon.
Yeah,
Okay.
So that's what's going on.
That's a hell of a photo op right there.
Oh, yeah.
Be like, JD, take this photo for me.
Yeah, it's Biden, Harris, Bloomberg, and
They
Trump.
better keep an eye on Biden today.
Why? Because he's doing 9/11?
He said he's going to do it.
Yeah.
Schumer's like, hey, who wants a burger?
Yeah, anybody want to come back to my place for burgers?
Raw burgers?
Hell no, dude. You serve raw meat. My dog won't eat that.
Yeah, she's still laughing. Can you at least pretend to be
Somebody probably
somewhat
told a funny joke.
She's probably just happy because she won the debate.
And she nerves.
I wonder what Trump said to her. He probably said, good job last night.
You're a cunt.
I wonder what he said to her.
Fuck you.
It was probably nice, something nice.
Good to see you again.
Good to
Hope
see you
you're doing
again.
good. Yeah.
Last night was something.
Something else, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
I like Brittany Mahomes.
Good for him.
Do you know how much goodwill he could get if he just joked about I had to throw out all my Taylor Swift records? Like if he did it in a funny way that wasn't petty.
We've said that for 8 years.
Yeah.
I know. I guess you keep hoping.
Well, I
Just
guess
do this if he could. Just
I
do
know.
that.
Yeah, you're right.
I guess there'll be teardrops on my guitar after that one, huh?
Is that a Taylor Swift song?
Yeah, I just need to go to fucking B-side. He can just make a general comment. Yeah. I just wish he had that ability. He just doesn't.
I think a lot of people wish.
Yeah.
You know?
But then he wouldn't be him.
Because I think a lot of people agree with a lot of things that he says.
Yep.
But they're just like, you're too
Crazy?
Yeah.
He's too him.
Yeah.
But that's how he got there to begin with.
Yep.
He wouldn't have gotten there to begin with if he wasn't that crazy.
Nope.
We should try to get him on.
I never even considered that. Travis, can you email him?
Yeah,
he's doing podcasts and stuff. Like he's doing alternate media. He's
Donald at Trump.com.
Mm-hmm.
He's not just doing.
Right. I mean, if anybody can get
Theo's
this done,
a lot bigger, but he's actually doing.
I'm looking at the guy who would have the best chance of getting it done.
Oh, you put that ball right back in.
You have the connections.
He put the ball back in.
That's fair.
I mean,
book him yourself, bitch, is what he said.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying
Oh.
sometimes, I'm just a guy. You have a literal relationship with multiple members of that family.
You're a person. I'm a guy.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm a guy. I'm like a dude.
Yeah.
I got $20.
Fuck you.
2 handshakes.
I hate you for that.
24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we do have to.
I'm not giving him
I
money
should get
for
another.
No, you shouldn't.
We have. I again.
Oh yeah, we have a guest today.
I am moving. I totally forgot to. What time is he supposed to be here? 10. Yeah. I'm canceling Side Splitters in Tampa. I'm moving it. I am moving it to January, February. I don't want to move it. I never do this with gigs, but I'm shooting something, and it's just going to overlap. I can't do it.
It's a good time to be in Tampa. January, February.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, I don't like. There's a lot of tickets sold for this. I sell very well in Tampa, and I hate doing it. And I apologize. I also have Millville, New Jersey coming up. I have Richmond, Virginia coming up. Northampton, Massachusetts. I have Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. And they added Harrisburg, December the 21st, which is Christmas week. That's an excellent week for shows. Comedy does great that week. So come see me in Harrisburg. And I also have December 6th in Chicago. And today, we're